Alright, so let's talk about upcoming games because July is looking stacked on Nintendo Switch. Whether you're still rocking that original model or enjoying everything Switch 2 has to offer, there is a ton to be excited for. You know, we've got strategy, horror, platformers, remakes, even a couple of surprises tucked in. There's even a Japanese game making its way to the Switch with a particularly great name. So here's everything worth keeping on your radar this July. If you do enjoy these monthly rundowns, then make sure to hit subscribe. I cover Nintendo Switch reviews, deals, upcoming games, performance updates every single week, pretty much daily. And with Switch 2 in full swing, it's only getting more interesting from here. Dead of Darkness looks like a genuine throwback with a modern twist. Now, it's set in 1985 England. You're playing as Private Eye Miles Wyndham, sent to investigate a family tragedy on the isolated Velvet Island. It is classic fixed camera survival horror filtered through a SNES lens. I think Resident Evil meets, Lone Survivor with limited ammo, puzzle loops, and gritty pixel art. There is full voice acting then, definitely unique for a pixel, esque experience. HD portraits, and yes, it's already out on Steam where it's sitting at very positive. I'm loving the vibe of this one, we'll definitely be checking it out. Islanders New Shores is a surprisingly deep follow-up to the minimalist city builder that won over so many players. Now you're still dropping buildings here on colourful procedural islands, but now with 44 building types, 7 biome variations, plus sandbox and high score modes. The key new twist though is boons, one-time power-ups to shake up your strategy. Don't expect fighting here, this is a tranquil one, just pick up for handheld play. Bendy and the Dark Revival is finally heading to Switch after doing the rounds on other platforms, and I think it's a strong fit. If you haven't played it, this is a first-person horror adventure set in the same inky, twisted cartoon world as that original. But it's not just a rehash, the combat is tighter, the world's more interconnected, and the vibe leans harder into Bioshock-style exploration and light stealth. Now this time you're playing as Audrey, and the art direction, still killer, retro animation gone wrong, and yeah, it's all got this creepy industrial flair too. Definitely a pick for horror fans. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming, and I am still excited, even if it's not a full remake like 1 and 2 were. Now why do I say that? Because it doesn't feature the beloved career mode, which is a big miss. Instead, what we're getting here is all of the parks from both games, dated with modern visuals, but then it's been built around challenge-based objectives like we saw in 1 and 2. So yeah, look, the gameplay is going to be solid, hence I am still in. These were some of the best assigned levels in the series, and yeah, I'm ready to grind my way through them all over again. Just finally then a quick note, but this one it's getting both a Switch 1 and Switch 2 version, so do expect coverage on how they stack up. Patapon 1 and 2 replay, and this one is a surprise in the best way. Now, originally a cult hit on PSP, Patapon is a rhythm-based strategy game where you control a tribe of tiny eyeball warriors. You control them with drum beats. It sounds weird, it is, but it's also brilliant. Here you're not just keeping time, you're issuing commands through this system. Advance, attack, defend. It's all based on rhythm. The result though is hypnotic, especially when your little army starts chanting in sync. Now this one then features a new replay system too, reworked visuals, and a new autosave system. So yeah, look, it's great to see it back, and if this isn't obvious, these are gonna be perfect for handheld play. System Shock 2, and this is the 25th anniversary remaster, and I think this is a big one. Now, this isn't guaranteed to release, this is just what I'm seeing online. I know they've said release at a later date, but I figured let's squeeze it in here just in case. But this is one of the most influential games ever made, a sci-fi horror immersive experience that directly inspired games like Bioshock, Prey, and yet just so many others. The new version promises updated visuals, audio, quality of life tweaks, and full controller support, all while keeping the eerie atmosphere and deep RPG systems intact. Now, it's not an easy game, and it's absolutely of its time, but if you're up for something tense, methodical, and most importantly, iconic, you need to play this. Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition is a big deal for CRPG fans. Originally released in 2006 and developed by Obsidian, it still holds up in a lot of ways. Deep role-playing systems, party-based real-time combat with pause, branching paths, and a full suite of expansions included here. Now on Switch, I'm curious how it handles, especially docked versus handheld. But if it runs well, this could be one of the most content-rich RPGs on the system. My only red flag? Aspire's handling it. And their recent retro ports have been, let's say, a bit hit or miss. You've seen how the Star Wars ones went, so yeah, that's my only concern, but definitely looking forward to it. Atomic Owl looks like one of July's most stylish indies, a pixel art roguelite with fast-paced swordplay, elemental upgrades, and some serious visual flair. Now you play as a ninja owl with a demon sword, dashing through procedurally generated levels packed with enemies and traps. Now I'm seeing a blend of influences here, action that gives me that Ninja Gaiden vibes, platforming that looks kind of Twitch perfect, think Super Meat Boy, and well, sprite work that's just plain lovely, honestly. Yeah, I'm psyched for this one. Never heard of it before till I did this video, but it looks really, really good. Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact is finally stepping into the arena, and for fighting game fans, this one is worth watching. It's a 3v3 tag brawler in the vein of Dragon Ball, C or Marvel versus Capcom style. You know, think flashy supers, cel-shaded visuals, and just a pace that's definitely going to fit this universe. Now, I haven't seen the series myself, seen clips of course, but I can't speak to the roster for that reason, but it looks pretty deep. And yeah, if you follow this channel, you know I love anime fighters, and this one already wins points, honestly, for not being another generic arena brawler. They tend to do that with anime. It's also Arc System Works behind the wheel, and they're the best at this genre, honestly. They are like god tier. They've also confirmed rollback netcode, so yeah, this is a day one buy in my opinion, purely not because of the license. For many that will be the case, but because, yeah, Arc System Works. The Wandering Village looks like one of the more unique city builders in years. Now, you're not building on land here, you're building a living ecosystem on the back of a massive roaming beast trekking through a toxic world. You've got survival sim elements, farming, disease control, resource juggling, and yes, you need to take care of the creature beneath you. Now, I played some of this on PC. It's a great mix of relaxing and stressful when things roll in. My only concern here, like Civilization, do wonder how this will run on Switch 2. I feel like a Switch 2 patch would be necessary, but you know, unfortunately for now, no sign of that, and that's no doubt down to the fact that it seems most indie devs still don't have dev kits. Donkey Kong Bonanza looking like a real Switch 2 showcase, and for many this will be the biggest July release, full stop. It's all about diving into this Hollow Earth style world in search of golden banana gems with destructible terrain. It's built basically straight into the level design. It looks wild in action. You've got multiple transformation forms as well, a zebra for speed and ostrich for flight, plus 2-player co-op where player 2 can control a pool lane using mouse-style Joy-Con inputs. Honestly, watching the direct on this, the variety is incredible. It's also coming from Nintendo's Odyssey team, which, like, it says a lot, and it's not just big and bold either, it's extremely creative. From what I've seen though, overall, looks gorgeous, seems to run beautifully from what we've seen so far. You know, it's Nintendo first party, 9 times out of 10, they get performance pretty solid. But yeah, I think more than anything, it's just great to see Donkey Kong get the spotlight in a full 3D platformer again. So yeah, I'll be day one for sure. I've been basically petitioning at this point for Donkey Kong to get a new game, so this, fantastic to see. Anomaly Collapse might be a must-buy for tactical fans. It's a roguelike grid-based battler, where you command a squad of furry soldiers, each with their own class, backstory, and special abilities. The combat then is turn-based, but what really stood out to me is how much it reminds me of Darkest Dungeon in terms of combat vibe and presentation. The battles then promise to be tight, punishing, and all about positioning, so flanking, chaining attacks, triggering devastating abnormality effects that can totally swing the fight. The art then chunky and weird in a good way. And yeah, it's sitting at a very positive on Steam, with players praising the tactical depth and style. My only concern, it feels perfect for handheld, but I just hope it runs well on Switch 1. Next up is Dragon Ball Kakarot Daima Adventure Through the Demon Realm Part 1. Now this is pretty obviously an expansion, but I think it's a notable one. It's diving into the Dragon Ball Daima universe with an original story arc that rewinds the clock and transforms the cast into their younger forms. Now, it's still, of course, the same Kakarot engine under the hood, a semi-open world action RPG with punchy combat and light exploration. But the new arc brings a fresh setting and enemy roster. I think this will appeal to long-time fans who want something a little different from the usual showdowns. Also, if you've already played the base game, I think it will no doubt be a potential purchase. If not, though, maybe it's a reason to finally jump in, because I will say here, it's a really solid game. I'll actually probably be picking up this DLC eventually myself. Shadow Labyrinth is a proper surprise, a dark sci-fi Metroidvania from Bandai Namco, but one that's also a Pac-Man game. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but the more I've seen, the more I'm in. Now, you play as Swordsman number 8, exploring a strange alien world with your companion, Puck, complete with combat, parrying, even mech battles where you transform into one. The twist scattered throughout are pocket labyrinths, full-on Pac-Man sequences where you chomp enemies and power pellets to survive. It's wild, and visually it gives off that kind of moody Hollow Knight energy, so yeah, really interesting. Even the structure, it looks like a proper Metroidvania, so not just a gimmick. I don't think I needed a Pac-Man side-scroller with mechs, but apparently I really do, and I'll definitely be checking it out. My only concern is visually, I think it looks a little bit, I don't know, bland at times, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it is in motion, but it's looking all very, I guess, repetitive. Misk, A Tiny Tale has been on my radar for a little while now. This is a cozy 3D platformer built in Unreal Engine where you play as a tiny robot exploring a lush little world made of everyday objects. I think bottle caps, pencils, cassette tapes turned into full-blown landscapes. It's got big Chibi, Robo and Pikmin vibes, but with the open-ended collectathon spin of something like think A Hat in Time. There's no combat here, it's all about movement, exploration, puzzles, and helping out the other robotic critters you meet along the journey. It looks beautifully animated, full of character, and yeah, potentially a perfect game just to unwind with. So yeah, I am quietly optimistic. Monument Valley 3 is finally leaving Netflix and setting sail on Switch. Now you play as Noor, an apprentice lightkeeper navigating surreal seascapes and impossible geometry to restore the sacred light and save her village. It builds on the series with new sailing mechanics and that distinct minimalist visual style we love. It's no doubt going to be beautiful, emotional, and perfect for quick play and puzzle breaks. I love the first two entries. You should definitely pay attention to this one. Deronko Wanko is getting a Switch release. Now, I'll be honest, it's here for the name alone. Somewhere a team sat around a table and said, Wanko, that's the one. Incredible decision. As for the game itself, you play as a naughty puppy tearing through your owner's pristine home, just causing absolute chaos before they get back. It looks unhinged. The frame rate in the Switch trailer is borderline tragic, so yeah, I'd say research it first. But that said, on Steam, it has over 4,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews, so there's clearly something special in here. My reason for the spotlight again, though? Deronko Wanko. I mean, come on, Wanko? Immature, but like, please, this name is brilliant. Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV is the longest of longest names, but it's bringing the series back in, I guess, a big way. Total, it's featuring 7 boards, over 110 mini-games, and then the brand new Jamboree TV mode that is going to be exclusive to Switch 2. This mode adds game show vibes, so Joy-Con pointer support, mic and camera features, even game share for multiplayer without owning the full game. I doubt I'll be diving into this expansion personally. I haven't grabbed the camera yet, and I think I got my time out of this one already. But yeah, we'll see. I say these things and I end up pulling out the credit card at some point still. No Sleep for Konami Date from AI The Somnium Fails is a new standalone visual novel adventure game tied to the AI series, and as a massive fan of the first 2 entries, definitely watching this one. Now here you're back in the shoes of Konami Date, the detective with a robotic eye, and you'll be solving surreal, dream-fueled cases. This one's said to be more bite-sized and self-contained. That does seem to be reflected in the pricing. But yeah, it's promising to still lean into that same mix of sci-fi, crime, puzzle solving, and branching story paths. Now again, I'm a massive fan of this series, so this is day one. However, don't know too much about it because I want to be surprised. So I'm actually avoiding trailers on purpose. For this though, release, it can't come quick enough. Wild Hearts S is a relaunch of EA and Koei Tecmo's Monster Hunting game, originally released in early 2023. And yeah, the original release, it struggled to break out against the Monster Hunter juggernaut, but this new version is clearly an attempt at a second swing. It's coming to Switch kind of as part of a broader update, and while we don't know yet if there's really anything extra, the game is great fun. I played it, it deserves this shot. Giant beasts, slick weapon design, cool building mechanics mid-combat. I'm just hoping it looks the part and frame rate is solid because this is a Switch 2 exclusive. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, is going for pure coziness set in Hobbiton. This is more Animal Crossing than action RPG. Now you play as a hobbit living your best village life, decorating your home, foraging ingredients, cooking up meals, and building friendships. It is officially licensed, it looks somewhat charming, and it might be exactly what Tolkien fans need after all of the doom and gloom of Middle-earth games past. This said, look, honestly, I'm not sold. The visuals, they're not doing it for me. I'm sure cozy fans will like them. But this said, look, I'm willing to be surprised, and hopefully I'm wrong in this case. But yeah, no doubt those wanting something relaxed, may like what they see. I'm just not sure how much this will appeal to a traditional Lord of the Rings fan, I guess. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is looking good, but I'll be honest, got one concern. From the footage so far, it looks a little more The Messenger than classic Ninja Gaiden, and I really hope I'm wrong about that. The original NES trilogy, they were legends for a reason. Brutally tough, razor sharp, and totally unforgiving in the best way. Now, I know The Messenger was inspired by it too, and this isn't a dig at The Messenger at all. I bloody love that game. But I'm hoping this one still captures that old, that same old school edge, let's say. Give me frustrating to the point where I want to break my Switch, please. That is what Ninja Gaiden should absolutely be, without a doubt. And that is some of the top picks for July, some of the upcoming Switch games that stood out, whether you're on the original model or diving into the Switch 2. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited for, though, or if there's a hidden gem I missed. If you enjoyed this video as well, a like and a sub really helps out the channel. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers all.